The attitude of people towards food waste has changed over time. Today's consumers are more aware and informed about food safety. They expect the food they consume to be safe, nutritious, and of high quality. This has led to a growing demand for specific food products that meet these quality parameters, such as narrowing processed foods, organic foods, and foods with reduced amount of sugar, salt, and healthy fats, etc. However, in modern trend with this However, in parallel with the modern trend in the food industry, this has led to a significant increase in the food loss and food waste, as well as the risk of food spoilage and the food chain are now being seen. These questions are becoming even more significant as the world population continues to increase. According to the United Nations World Population Prospects 2019 report, the global population is projected to reach 9.7 billion by 2050 and 10.9 billion by 2100. By minimizing this risk, we can better meet the increasing global food demand and ensure a more sustainable future for all. Good morning, my name is Sofia Trujillo, and I'll be talking about food waste in the United States. Food waste and food loss are significant problems internationally. So they have estimated that between a third and a half of food produced globally is not consumed, which can lead to environmental, economic, and social impacts. Which leads me to my question, which is, to what extent should the government take primary responsibility to reduce food waste? The response I came up with is that the government plays a crucial part in trying to reduce food waste in the United States due to its role in policymaking and regulations. Even though the government has created several bills, it is true, according to studies, that most of the food waste comes from households. The challenge of racism and the challenge of food waste are interconnected through various social, economic, and environmental factors. Both issues require recognizing their interconnectedness and implementing solutions that address the root to both issues, as you can see in this painting by the Stimulus of College Board. Some of the bills that the government has created is the 2018 Farm Bill. The U.S. has been a major contributor to food waste. 119 billion pounds of food are wasted annually, amounting to about $408 billion. But what is the problem with this? As previously mentioned, the increase of food waste can lead to several impacts. We can cause downfalls in the country. It can also lead to create a gas called greenhouse gas, and it can be harmful because the gas traps heat in the Earth atmosphere, which can lead to global warming and climate change. Some of the bills that the government has created to reduce this issue is the 2018 Farm Bill. The 2018 Farm Bill addresses this issue in several programs. The bill requires the USDA to establish Food Waste Reduction Association to coordinate and improve efforts to measure and reduce the incidence of food waste. Other provisions of this bill address donation of food to food waste. For example, the bill establishes a milk donation program to encourage donation of milk, provide nutritious assistance to low-income individuals, and reduce food waste. Moreover, the bill authorizes grants under the Local Agricultural Market Program to promote businesses, opportunities, and strategies to reduce on-farm food waste. Another one can be 2019 strategies. During Winning on Reducing Food Waste Month, April 2019, the EPA, USDA, and FDA released an insurgency strategy to achieve a vision for 2018 Winning on Reducing Food Waste initiative. Relying on information from researchers, non-governmental organizations, stakeholders, the Government Accountability Office, and others, the strategy identifies 6 priority areas for action: enhance interagency coordination, increase consumer education outreach efforts, improve coordination and guidance on food loss and waste measurements, clarify and community information on food safety, food data labels, and food donations, collaborate with private industry to reduce food waste across the supply chain, and encourage food waste reduction by federal agencies in their respective facilities. Lastly, the U.S. Food Waste Challenge. In 2013, the U.S. Department of Agriculture announced a challenge to encourage producers, processors, retailers, and others in the food chain to reduce, recover, and recycle food waste. This has focused on feeding people and not landfills throughout education, encouragement of donation, and even backyard composting. The solutions I've came up with, even though I just talked about several bills that the government has created, according to studies, most of the food waste comes from households. The age of household occupants is also a key to influence on food waste. Grasp research found that households with young professionals or with children produce the most food waste. As you can see in this, the household with adults and children produce 6.5 kilograms of weight per week. Households with occupants over 16 but under 45 years were the second biggest responsible for food waste. In summary, older people tend to be less wasteful, and younger people tend to create more food waste. The solutions I came up with are education and label and packaging. Educating the world about the impact of food waste and how to reduce it is essential. Some examples can be public awareness campaigns, education programs, and information through the media. By standardizing food labeling and packaging practices can help reduce confusion and prevent premature disposal of edible food. Here's my work cited. Thank you.
All right, 2 questions for you. First up, how'd your research question evolve as you worked through the entire process?
At first, I was gonna talk about the economic impact of food waste, but then once I was doing more research, I found out about the bills that the government has created, and I wanted to talk about how the government what the government impact was and how to reduce this issue.
Right? And what advice would you have for other people that look into this in the future?
The advice I will give to other researchers would be to make sure that the sources are credible. I found out multiple resources that gave information that I found out by other sources that were not true.